Alright viewers, even as a fiery face-off is raging on in the parliament over Operation Sindoor and the Pahalgam terror attack, we are getting some rather crucial updates coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. We're learning that Hashim Musa alias Suleimani has been killed in an encounter which broke out in the Dachigam forest area near Srinagar. The terrorist was involved in the Pahalgam terror attack and he's been killed in the operation dubbed as Operation Mahadev. Hashim Musa was the mastermind of the 22nd April Pahalgam terror attack, in which 26 innocent people have lost their lives. The Indian Armed Forces have successfully neutralized the Pahalgam terror attack, a mastermind from the Lashkar-e-Toiba. My colleague Ajay Jandyal joins us on the broadcast to share more details. Ajay, big win for our security forces. Pahalgam has been avenged. The mastermind of the attack, the one who had led the group of terrorists, LET commander Hashim Musa, has now been neutralized by the security forces in a joint operation between the army and the J&K police.
Yes, you rightly said. That is what our sources are saying, that operation which took place there in the Dachigam forest area of Srinagar, central Kashmir, that basically is a big success for the forces, as they have successfully neutralized 3 terrorists in that operation. And the terrorists, those who have been killed by the security forces in this operation, that includes one, Hashim Musa as well. And sources are saying that he was mastermind, one of mastermind of Pahalgam attack, which they have carried a few months back, in which tourists was targeted and innocent civilians was killed by the terrorists. So it's a big win. Official confirmation, no doubt, that is awaited, but bodies have been recovered. M4 carbine rifles, AK series rifles, as well as other warlike ammunition, including UBGL and other ammunition, have been recovered from the spot.
Indeed, Ajay, we're also getting to know that 2 other terrorists, including Yasir and Abu Hamza alias Harris, they've also been neutralized by the security forces.
Yes, Abu Hamza and Yasir and this Hashim Musa, they are believed to be killed in this encounter, and it was a brief encounter according to information. Security forces, those who were already on the toes for last several months because of this terror incident which took place in the Pahalgam, they basically got some specific input about the presence of these terrorists in the Gudri Nala area, there in the Dachigam forest area, which is a deep inside the forest area. And immediately parties were, pushed in by the authorities over there, Jammu Kashmir Police, Army and the CRPF. They were on the job. And during that search operation, when they, reached that location where this group of terrorists was hiding, the terrorists opened fire, and immediately they took, position, and operation was started. And during that gunfight, they have neutralized all the, 3 terrorists present over there. And now sources are saying that Hashim Musa, Yasir and Abu Hamza, they are believed to be killed in this encounter. Our sources in the police confirmed us that there are very chances that terrorists, those who have been neutralized by the security forces in Dachigam forest area, they are having link with the Pahalgam terror incident which took place over there. So that is a big thing, and that is a big success for the forces over here.
All right, Ajay, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Of course, walking our viewers through this piece of news that we've been tracking over the last couple of hours. Viewers, 3 Pakistani terrorists have been neutralized in an encounter by a joint team of the Army and the J&K police under Operation Mahadev. Operation Mahadev was launched in the Mulnar area of Harwan based on intelligence inputs after gunshots were heard in the area earlier in the day. We have confirmed that one of the 3 neutralized terrorists by the Indian Army's Special Forces is Hashim Musa, the mastermind of the Pahalgam terror attack that claimed the lives of 26 innocent civilians on the 22nd of April this year. Hashim Musa was a former para-commando of the Pakistan Army's Special Service Group. He infiltrated India in September 2023 and had been active in Jammu and Kashmir for 2 years, primarily operating in the Budgam district near Srinagar. He was considered to be highly trained and adept at living in the jungles. An LET commander, Musa, was involved in at least 2 attacks on security forces and non-locals, including the Sonmarg tunnel terror attack and the Bota Patri attack of October 2024. That's not all. 2 other terrorists neutralized have been identified as Yasir and Abu Hamza alias Harris. Meanwhile, a US-made carbine, an AK-47, 17 rifle grenades and other materials have been recovered by the forces. The encounter was the result of a coordinated operation driven by a blend of classic human intelligence and technical surveillance. Over the past month, a series of strategic meetings were held between the army and intelligence agencies in order to plan the operation. Local assets also played a crucial role in tracking movement and building actionable inputs. The success of this operation sends a very strong message to terror groups that they remain firmly under the radar of security agencies in India. Joining us on the broadcast is Major General J.K. Bansal. He is a defense expert. We also have with us S.P. Vaid, former DGP of the J&K Police. A very good afternoon to both our guests. I'd like to go across to Major General Bansal, sir. Big news coming in from J&K. The mastermind of the Pahalgam terror attack, Hashim Musa, he's suspected to be involved in other attacks against the forces and against civilians as well in J&K. He's been gunned down successfully. 3 terrorists have been gunned down in total. How big a win is this for our security forces?
Good evening. This is a great success and achievement of security forces in which Army, CRPF and J&K Police has participated. And without any loss of any life of our Jawan, that this kind of operation is a great achievement. He had a bounty on his head of 20 lakh rupees, with this Musa was having this. So this shows the resolve of our armed forces and our security forces over there, that any terrorist who is there will be neutralized, and gives the stern message to all the terrorists who were coming on work. And during the Operation Sindoor, we have already destroyed all the hideouts and all the in the Pakistan itself. Now no terrorist will dare to come here, and whatever are there, they are being utilized. I understand few more, 2, 3 are there. They will also be utilized. They were trying to hide in thick jungle of Daichegaon, which has been explored, and our drone were having vigilance. So all these things will give a good success, and which is a great achievement of our forces, which needs a commendation for all the Jawan, the officers, the planner, and the intelligence agencies. The intelligence is very, very important. The basis of intelligence, this operation was done. So I think now this kind of again, they will not have any kind of such event will not happen, and this area will J&K will be free of all terrorists. Back to you, Davika.
Indeed, sir. Stay on with us. We also have Mr. S.P. Vaid, former DGP of the Jammu and Kashmir Police. Thank you for taking our time speaking to NewsX. With this successful Operation Mahadev, do you think now justice has been served to the 26 victims of the Pahalgam terror attack and their kin who've been grieving them ever since that horrific, brutal attack shook the conscience of the nation?
Absolutely. The whole country was waiting for this moment, and I'm very glad that a pinpointed information could be generated about their movement, because since 22nd of April, everyone was asking, where are these terrorists? And I think such operations, successful operations, happen only on the basis of pinpointed information. Fortunately, that was generated, and the coordination between Indian Army, the CAPF and J&K Police, so that there is absolutely no leakage of information, and they must have observed their movement for quite some time, laid the cordon and eliminated them. It's a very difficult terrain. Look from the photographs itself. This Mahadev Hill is overlooking Dachigam forest, and below it's very thick forest and high mountain. Some of the areas are even snowbound. I think, but very dangerous part is so near to Srinagar city, which is the capital, and from Srinagar, the Amarnath Yatra also passes. A part of Amarnath Yatra, which goes by Baltal, actually crosses this Srinagar city also. So I think these terrorist elimination of them is a huge success. We must compliment all those who took part in this, and it would not have come at a more appropriate time than today, when discussion on Operation Sindoor post Pahalgam is actually taking place in Parliament. Even government is being asked by the opposition, where are these terrorists? What a befitting reply, I think. But the sad part is, I was disgusted yesterday when I heard former Home Minister Mr. P. Chidambaram talking of what is the linkage between Pahalgam and Pakistan. How have you linked it? I think here is the reply. Though we all knew, and he, having remained Home Minister, should be definitely knowing it better than me and General Saab, that Pakistan is behind all this. But such statements are misused by Pakistan in the international fora. Look how former Home Minister of India is talking. I think such statements should be avoided by senior people like Mr. P. Chidambaram. Yes.
All right, sir. Stay on with us. I, in fact, have the wanted poster that was issued by the J&K police on my screen over here. I request the crew upstairs to kindly showcase it to our viewers. This was released in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack. The J&K police showcasing a sketch of Hasim Musa, aka Suleiman, stated that he's a Pakistani national and elite terrorist who is involved in the terrorist attack on civilians in Baisaran, in Pahalgam, Anantnag, Jammu and Kashmir. There was a reward of 20 lakh rupees that was in fact declared by the J&K police in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack. It stated that anyone sharing information or leads about the aforesaid terrorist act shall be rewarded rupees 20 lakhs, and the identity of the informer shall be kept a secret. Here, of course, contact numbers of the PCR and SSP Anantnag. But this is that particular wanted poster that was put out by the Jammu and Kashmir police in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack. Hasim Musa, and information regarding him carried a reward of rupees 20 lakh, and today the security forces have been successful in gunning him down. I'd like to rope in Major General Bansal into the conversation once again. Sir, you've of course heard what Mr. S.P. Wade has had to say about the valor that has been in fact demonstrated by our forces on the ground, despite it being several months since the terror attack took place in it has taken place in Pahalgam. We've seen the forces have now successfully neutralized the mastermind behind this, but that is not all. We've also now seen he was a former para-commando of the Pakistan Army Special Service Group. I beg your pardon, before I go across to Major General J.K. Bansal, we also have Sushant Satpathy, who is Prashant Satpathy's brother. He, of course, lost his life tragically in the terror attack. Mr. Satpathy, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. आप क्या अभी महसूस कर रहे हैं after finding out that the mastermind Hasim Musa, who was one of the terrorists who had killed 26 innocent people, उसको अब हमारे security forces ने successfully neutralize कर दिया है जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में. पहलगाम टेररिस्ट जो मास्टरमाइंड था टेरर अटैक का, उसको अब हमारे security forces ने गन डाउन कर लिया है. And what are your first thoughts and first feelings? Is this justice for the victims? Is this justice for your brother?
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैडम आपका चैनल को और मेरे देश के जो सुरक्षा ले रही है मेरे जवान को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद है। आज इतने दिनों के बाद मेरे भाई को जो टेररिस्ट में शहीद किया था मेरे भाई को, आज मैं बहुत खुश हूँ, मेरे परिवार भी बहुत खुश है। आज मेरा भाई को आत्मा को एक जरा से शांति तो मिल जाएंगे, मैं सोचता हूँ। मैं बहुत खुश हूँ, इतना ही खुश हूँ। हमारा देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को मैं बधाई देना चाहता हूँ, जो इतने दिनों के बाद मैं अभी समय पे आपके चैनल पे जुड़ते हुए मैं एक ही बात कह रहा था, वो 4 आतंकी कहाँ गए? 4 आतंकी कहाँ गए जो पहलगाम के आक्रमण के शिकार हुए थे मेरे भाई ने? आज मैं बहुत खुश हूँ, मेरा भाई का आत्मा का शांति मिलेगा। लेकिन हमारा भाई तो नहीं आएगा, लेकिन हमारा परिवार भी बहुत खुश है। आज मैं बहुत खुश हूँ, मेरे भाई का मौत का बदला ले रहा है इंडिया गवर्नमेंट, और फौजी ने जो काम किया है मैं उनको सैल्यूट करता हूँ।
जी, और आप हमारे सेना को क्या संदेश देना चाहते हैं? वो अभी भी लगे हुए हैं पहलगाम टेररिस्ट को हंट डाउन करना, और उनको जैसे आज गन डाउन किया है उनको गन डाउन करना। हमने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में भी देखा था पहले कि जो टेररिस्ट कैंप्स है पाकिस्तान में उनको कंप्लीटली डिस्ट्रॉय कर दिया गया, और अभी भी आज भी एक मास्टरमाइंड जो है उसको भी मारा गया है।
ठीक है मैम, मैं इतना ही देशवासियों को कहना चाहता हूँ, मेरे देशवासियों को ही कोई भी आतंकी को हमारा देश में सुरक्षा नहीं देना चाहिए। हमारा देश में ऐसा होने से हमारा देश का बदनामी हो रहा है। मेरे देशवासियों को जो भी टेररिस्ट के सपोर्ट दे रहा है, मैं उनको निवेदन करता हूँ, ऐसा काम मत कीजिए, ऐसा काम मत कीजिए। अब मैं तो कहता हूँ सेना जो किया है हमारे दिल से मैं उनको सैल्यूट करना चाहता हूँ, और ऐसा ही काम जारी रखना चाहिए। मेरे भाई जो आतंकी के हमले के शिकार हुए हैं वो भी एक एनसीसी कैडर था वो, और मैं तो इतना ही कहता हूँ। और इसी टाइम भी मैं कह रहा था मेरा भाई एक हमने से जो अटैक किया होता था ना, और उनको भी कुचल देना चाहिए था, लेकिन मेरा भाई ने उनको पीछे से वार किया। वो एक कापुरुष का काम किया है आतंकवादियों ने। हमने से मैं इतना ही मेरे भाई को मैं जानता हूँ, वो एक फाइटर था।
जी, thank you so much for speaking to us. Of course, this is a major win for the Indian Armed Forces, who have successfully managed to neutralize the mastermind behind the Pahalgam terror attack. Justice for the kin of those 26 innocent people who lost their lives. I'd like to come back to Major General Bansal. You were, of course, waiting rather patiently. We've just spoken to Mr. Sushant Satpathy, who's the brother of Prashant Satpathy, one of the victims who lost their lives in this tragic terror attack just a couple of months ago. I was highlighting that Hashim Musa was a former para-commando of the Pakistani army. He was also a Lashkar-e-Toiba commander. He's a history sheeter. He was involved in 2 attacks, the Sonmarg tunnel attack and the Bota Patri attack that had taken place in October 2024. So with this successful operation, what message does India then send to Pakistan? We already achieved our objectives under Operation Sindoor, and now with Hashim Musa being neutralized as well, what message as far as India's anti-terror goals and anti-terror objectives are concerned, what is the message that we send to our neighbor in the West?
You have very rightly said that a stern message has been given to Pakistan As a matter of fact, during Operation Sindoor, we have given that message. And as far as these terrorists are concerned, they are the Pakistani army, ISI people who are coming here in the garb of terrorists, and they are, because the Pakistan cannot fight direct war with India, they do the proxy war through terrorists, some of the terrorist organization over there. In that terrorist organization also all trained para commandos and well-versed people are there, and they are having all latest gadgets of fighting, whether this munitions, they are having kind of grenade or all equipments are given to them, and they are having a satellite telephone, and because of that he was traced also. These all three terrorists was traced. So now the Pakistan must understand that they cannot they cannot achieve anything by doing proxy war in this kind. And now my worry is that ISI is not only on the western border, now they are trying to be on the eastern border in the Dhaka, and in they are having now, because there's the free movements between the two sides, that is the Pakistan and Bangladesh. So ISI is putting their footprint there, and they will create such kind of problem. So this has to be taken into consideration, and our armed forces, intelligence agencies has to be very vigilant. And of course, it has been mentioned earlier also, during Pahalgam, there may be some kind of intelligence failure was there. So that gives the message to our security agency that intelligence is very, very important. Once they will come to know, then only they can utilize. You know, anywhere in the world, wherever the war is there, the intelligence is playing very, very important role. That yes, there are the various aircraft, the satellites, everything being utilized and used to gather all the intelligence. And here also in localized area, the human intelligence is important. That we have got the drones, and we all things that is very important, so that these kind of events, such incident and can be prevented further. Of course, message has already been sent to Pakistan and to all the terrorists. If they will enter inside India, they will be neutralized. Back to you.
Absolutely. And one final question from Mr. SP Ved. Sir, I want to understand from you, because while I was going through some of the Google Earth images, that is quite a densely forested area where the encounter has taken place. It's a mere 22 kilometers from Srinagar city center, but it was quite a densely forested terrain, hilly terrain as well. So could you explain to our viewers what are the challenges that are encountered by our forces in conducting such sophisticated operations?
See, this, if you see the photographs, this is a high mountain area, and the lower heights are thick forest. This the Dachigam belt is basically a protected, reserve where you can't enter without permission of the head of the state. Even I have to seek permission of either the Honorable Chief Minister or the Lieutenant Governor. So it's a protected area, thick forest, lot of animals are there. So this hideout was in a quite a high mountain area. And
just a second, apologies to interject. I am so sorry, but we have a victim's brother joining us on the broadcast. I'll come back to you. We have Saurabh Dwivedi, who's the brother of Shubham Dwivedi, who also lost his life in this tragic terror attack in Pahalgam on the 22nd of April. Saurabhji, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. We of course are discussing this major piece of news that has come in. Hashim Musa, one of the masterminds of the Pahalgam terror attack, he's now been shot dead by our security forces. आपको अभी क्या महसूस हो रहा है? Is this justice for your brother?
Ma'am, first of all, I would like to thank all the defense forces and defense personnel out there who are putting their lives at risk to avenging the death of all the 26 people who died there at Pahalgam. तो उन सभी लोगों की तरफ से जिन्होंने अपने किसी को खोया है, मैं सभी सेना के लोगों को धन्यवाद करता हूं. और बिल्कुल this is justice for us, and this is a very, like I said, this is a small victory for us, but battle is very long, and we have to make sure that no terrorists are out there and there are no attacks like Pahalgam. So that is what we want. We knew that someday, whoever is involved in these kind of attacks, our army is brave and they will not leave any stones unturned to find them and to, neutralize them. So that is what has happened today. It's been 3 months, and I'm happy that the defense forces didn't forget us. They, they kept on searching for all the terrorists. And today this news has came, so it's a sigh of relief for us. But we want this operation to continue. It should not end here.
And what's your message to our brave hearts?
To the brave hearts out there who are putting their lives at risk for the nation, I salute them on behalf of all the 26 families and on behalf of all the, Indian citizens. I salute them. They are doing what they have always done. ऐसे ही उनको वीर सपूत नहीं कहा जाता है. वीर गाथाएं उन्होंने बहुत समय से लिखी हैं, और ये एक छोटा सा चैप्टर है जो इस वीर गाथा में आज उन्होंने जोड़ा है. तो बस यही है कि इस तरीके का ऑपरेशन चलते रहें और आतंकवाद का सफाया पूरी तरीके से हो. टेररिज्म नीड टू बी eradicated from our country till the roots, and no terrorist should be spared alive. That's all.
All right, thank you so much for taking our time speaking to NewsX. I once again would like to rope in Mr. S.P. Vaid, sir. Apologies for interjecting you in the midst of your thoughts. Of course, you were walking our viewers through the challenges that the security forces face on the ground while carrying out such operations.
When hideout is on such a high mountain, the first thing is you are busy. Your movement is visible from far off area, and that is number one difficulty. Whichever side you go, you would be tracked. So that is one disadvantage you face. The other is down below the thick forest. Actually, also is a problem area, because in the thick forest area, the enemy has advantage. You can always target the approaching troops, and casualties can take place. So I think the difficulties are multiple. Executing such a pinpointed, most important is pinpointed information, and that has actually, in this case, I think it was the operation was based on pinpointed information, because these are specially trained terrorists for jungle warfare or mountain warfare. So the ISI and Pakistan has trained them for this particular terrain, this particular kind of ground reality. So that is why, and equipped them with the American M4 rifles, which has been recovered. 17 grenades were recovered. Imagine the amount of ammunition they're carrying. So 2 AK-47 rifles. So heavily armed and specially trained for this. And this, as you mentioned, Hashim Musa was actually a para commando of Pakistan Special Forces. So getting such high value targets is not very easy. So I think credit goes to all those who took part in this operation and those who generated this information. We must compliment them. Nation is proud of these heroes, and that's what Indian Army, J&K Police and the paramilitary is doing in Jammu and Kashmir.
All right. There, of course, I'd like to thank Major General Bansal for joining us on the broadcast, as well as SP Vaid for also taking out time speaking to NewsX, of course, walking our viewers through this major achievement, as well as how difficult an achievement it was, but despite all the challenges, our security forces persisted and successfully neutralized the terrorists. My colleague Ajay Jandyal with us on the broadcast. Ajay, we've of course discussed with our experts on taken in their opinion and their take as far as this successful operation is concerned. What else are your sources revealing to you on the ground as far as the identification process is concerned? We did get information from our sources that Hashim Musa as well as Yasir and Harris, they have been identified, but by when can we expect a confirmation? Because we did see that the Chinar Corps did put up a tweet a couple of hours ago emphasizing and highlighting that 3 terrorists were successfully neutralized, but will they be revealing the identities officially as well?
It's a time-taking process to identify it, all the terrorists that who they are, that will take time. But yes, initial inputs and initial information with the security forces that they have, that is helping the security forces to identify this group of terrorists. And yes, sources are saying that most likely they are, Hashim Musa, Yasir, and Abu Hamza, all 3 of Lashkar-e-Toiba's TRF, and they were hiding in the forest area in Dachigam, where they were trapped and then neutralized by the security forces. And yes, Musa was among the terrorists, those who were responsible for the massive terror attack over there in the Pahalgam Baisar area, in which 26 tourists was killed by terrorists. So it was really painful time. Our nation have faced the pain because of these terrorists, and when they were trapped, how forces can do that, they can flee. Yes, they have ensured that all the terrorists present over there, they has to be neutralized as soon as possible, and that is what they have done. Sources are saying that Suleiman, who is Hashim Musa or Suleiman, he is the terrorist who was basically forcing the tourists there in the Pahalgam to open their pen to identify the religion. So that indicates that how brutal they were and how important it was for the security forces to neutralize them as soon as possible. And you never know, in Dachigam where they were hiding, they must be waiting for some tourists or some local there too, so that they can target them. But on-time action of the forces that have, foiled this attempt of these terrorists and Pakistan as well. Because during Amarnath Yatra, when they, for last 24 days, they were not able to do anything to carry out attack or something. That was only because of the security forces. But you never know that what was going on over there in their mind. So that's why it's a big success for the forces.
Absolutely. As you've rightly mentioned, the security apparatus as far as the Amarnath Yatra is concerned is quite robust. Ajay, I'd like to thank you for joining us on the broadcast, sharing all those details. Meanwhile, my colleague Ashik Mir has filed a report from the location where the 3 terrorists have been neutralized. Remember, one of the terrorists neutralized includes Pahalgam terror attack mastermind Hashim Musa. Take a look at this report.
इस वक्त हम दाचीगाम लदवस के उसी फॉरेस्ट एरिया में है जहां पर सुरक्षा बलों और आतंकियों के बीच में आज सुबह से मुठभेड़ जारी है और अभी तक इस मुठभेड़ में 3 पाकिस्तानी आतंकी मारे गए हैं। मेरे विजय आपको तस्वीरों में दिखाएंगे कि ये वही फॉरेस्ट एरिया है और यहाँ से ऊपर ये मुठभेड़ जो है आज सुबह शुरू हुई जब सुरक्षा बलों को एक इनपुट मिला था कि लदवस के इस एरिया में कुछ आतंकी दिखे हैं, जिसके बाद सुरक्षा बलों ने इस पूरे एरिया का कॉर्डन किया और छुपे हुए आतंकियों ने सुरक्षा बलों पर फायरिंग की, जिसके बाद गोलियों की आवाज़ें जो है इस पूरे एरिया में सुनाई दी गई। और फिलहाल जो आतंकी इसमें मारे गए हैं इनकी शिनाख्त अबू हमजा, हारिस और यासिर सुलेमान के तौर पर हुई है, जो कि पाकिस्तानी हैं। और सुलेमान के बारे में ये भी बताया जा रहा है कि पहलगाम में जो 22 अप्रैल को आतंकी घटना घटी थी उसमें सुलेमान भी जो है शामिल रहा है और इसका कोड नेम हाशिम था। यानी पाकिस्तान के ये तीनों आतंकी थे जिनको आज सुरक्षा बलों ने ढेर किया है लदवस के इसी फॉरेस्ट एरिया में। हालांकि ऊपर जाने की अनुमति जो है नहीं है, इजाज़त नहीं है। सुरक्षा बलों का अभी भी वहाँ पर कॉम्बिंग ऑपरेशन जो है वो चल रहा है, लेकिन मुश्किल से हम यहाँ तक आ चुके हैं, लेकिन जब हम यहाँ पर आए तो यहाँ पर भी कई सारी सुरक्षा बलों की टुकड़ियाँ जो है वो ऊपर जाती हुई हमने देखी। हम वीडियो शूट नहीं कर पाए, लेकिन फिर भी आपको बता दें कि अभी भी वहाँ पर कॉम्बिंग ऑपरेशन जो है चल रहा है, क्योंकि अभी ये ऑपरेशन ख़त्म नहीं हुआ है। हालांकि 3 आतंकी जो है इसमें ढेर हुए हैं, सुरक्षा बलों के हत्थे वो चढ़ गए हैं और किस तरह से वहाँ पर अभी भी कॉम्बिंग ऑपरेशन जो है इन फॉरेस्ट एरियाज़ में चल रहा है, क्योंकि ये एरिया जो है पहलगाम से कनेक्टेड है, अनंतनाग से कनेक्टेड है, यानी दक्षिणी कश्मीर का जितना भी एरिया है उससे ये कनेक्टेड है, जहाँ पर अभी भी कॉम्बिंग ऑपरेशन चल रहा है। सुरक्षा बलों को ये भी इनपुट है कि कई और आतंकी हो सकते हैं इस एरिया की। जहाँ तक बात है, आपको विजय दिखाएंगे तस्वीरों में कितना हाईली डेंस एरिया है। यहाँ पर आपको बड़े बड़े दरख्त दिखेंगे जिनके साये में ये आतंकी जो है छुपे हुए थे, और कहीं ना कहीं आज जिस तरह से ये इनपुट मिला है सुरक्षा बलों के लिए ये बड़ी कामयाबी थी, और साथ ही साथ चुनौतियां भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा थी, क्योंकि काफ़ी हिली टेरेन्स है यहाँ पर। ऊपर तक लदवस तक जाने में लगभग 3 किलोमीटर का रास्ता यहाँ से लदवस का है, जहाँ पैदल ही जा सकते हैं, गाड़ियों की एक्सेस नहीं है वहाँ तक। और सुरक्षा बलों को जो ही ये इनपुट मिला तो पैरा कमांडोज की टीम जो है वहाँ पर पहुँची, जिन्होंने इस ऑपरेशन को अंजाम दिया। फिलहाल 3 आतंकी मारे गए हैं, जिनकी शिनाख्त पाकिस्तान के तौर पर हुई है, और इन तीनों के कब्जे से जो है M4 कार्बाइन राइफल और कई सारे मैगजीन्स AK-47 राइफल जो है वो भी बरामद हुई है। और अब जो है अभी भी कॉम्बिंग ऑपरेशन जो है इस एरिया में चल रहा है। फिरोज वानी के साथ लदवस से आशिक मीर, इंडिया न्यूज़, NewsX के लिए।